All right, earth signs, how are you? If you are of earth sign, earth element being Capricorn, Taurus, and of course Virgo, this is your full moon and Virgo reading. All right, guys, so we are going to just kind of quickly, this is going to be a short reading as I try to reduce these kind of readings, one of which because I don't want my phone to clock out on me. So this is just going to get right to the crux and the major overall impact of what the full moon in Virgo will mean for us earth signs, me myself included, as I am as well of earth element. So generally what is pretty much going to go on in terms of what this full moon will mean for us as we close out the last full moon of the winter. And overall I pulled out, as always, I pulled out a Moonology card because we are in fact in that full moon in Virgo, and the overall message behind it is you are good enough. I kind of touched upon it in the overview that I just gave, and so basically we're going to see how that will kind of generalize everything in terms of your reading. Like I said, it's a very quick reading as I just only pulled out 3 cards for each astrological energy. Speaking of which, we are going to chime in and see how the overall sign itself, that of Virgo, what it's going to mean for us earth signs when it comes to digest. Okay, so three astrological energies, one of which will be the sign itself. Speaking about digest, we're going to see exactly in why, or what area I should say, we need to digest. What is it that we need to sort out, right? Now, as we move over to the next astrological energy, we have the 6th house because Virgo rules the 6th house, and the message is sustainability. So we're going to chime in and see in what area will sustainability be called upon. It's the full moon, but will be called upon for us earth signs when it comes to sustainability. And then we will round out with the last astrological energy of the ruling planet, which is Mercury. Mercury rules Virgo, and it's about messages. So we're going to chime out to see what would be the final messages for us earth signs under this full moon. All right, so the overall energy that I picked up when I pulled the cards for us for the first astrological energy of the sign itself about digest, the overall energy message is being pacific. Sort and release habits of certain patterns that may be holding you back from potential opportunities. Basically, explore new realities this season. Exploring new realities that also I pointed out in the overview. So the cards that came out was the Queen of Wands, the 4 of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the card was a major arcana of the Magician. So what does this all mean pertaining to what it is that we need to digest or sort out? Well, the Queen of Wands, when it comes to Wands energy, it's about passion because Wands is connected to fire. It's a fire sign. So anything or anytime that we get any type of wands that come out is almost going to pertain to some type of action that we need to take pertaining to whatever area of our life that it calls for. Now, I do want to always just point out that just because this is the collective of earth signs of Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, it still is a general reading. So you know what to do by now. Just take the parts that only resonate with you and leave the rest for your other fellow signs. Okay, so again, the Queen of Wands is very well, if those of you are looking of masculine, this could very well be the King of Wands, but it's about taking action so that we are driven towards something that we ultimately want to see. Generally, when we have a lot of thoughts, right? When it comes to us digesting certain ideas or thoughts that we might have, it usually can become excessive. And when we focus too much on ideas and thoughts, it kind of takes us away from putting forth that initiative action. So we don't want to be just full of thoughts. We want to be able to set those thoughts in motion and then see the progress by taking action, whatever that may be. Love life, work career, a project, even our own thought process. Whatever it is, if it's working on our own internal way in how we view things, we want to be able to, again, turn those visions into actual action. And this is what I feel that the Queen of Wands here is representing when it comes to digesting, being able to figure out as we sort and release certain things that we don't want to think too much about those things. We just want to set action and go and take care of it, right? And then we have here the Four of Pentacles. So for some of us, I believe that this does point to some type of a work project, pertains to money, because Pentacles deals with money. So for some of you, maybe Taurus in particular, but nonetheless, because of the full moon is in Virgo, it doesn't mean that the situations will be pertaining to Virgos. It's for any of us at this point, but particularly it can reflect upon a job, a career, our money, our finances. When it comes to what it is that we envision for ourselves, we don't want to have just those visions trapped in our mind. We want to work toward taking initiative steps to see whatever it is that we want to see or create for ourselves when it comes to our money and finance. We want to be able to take action behind it, right? And we can, because we have the major arcana of the Magician. The Magician is the best type of energy card that came out to really kind of drive home the point pertaining to the wands, taking action, and what it is that we are taking action behind when it comes to our money, our finance, because we have the power to create not only the things that we see and envision, but speaking back to what the full moon is about, when I mention about opening up to new realities, we have the power within ourselves to really see any type of new potential opportunities that we can bring into our physical reality, not just stuck in our mind. All right, so that's what I get for that first energy of the sign in Virgo in itself. Now let's talk about the sixth house energy, as Virgo rules the sixth house. And remember, I pointed out it reflects upon sustainability. So I wanted to ask Spirit, in what area will sustainability be called upon for the earth signs? And the overall message that I got here of sustainability is balance, okay? For optimum flow of the mind, body, and soul, think less, communicate, take action, take some type of initiative. So the energy is kind of coming again, kind of drifting from the first astrological energy. And I really think that all the astrological energies, they all are in sync with the same overall message here for us earth signs. But speaking about sustainability, the cards that came out for us here was the Page of Swords, which speaks about communication, thinking less, because Swords deals with analytics, the analytical way of how we think, right? Followed by the Seven of Cups. And then we have an Ace of Pentacles here that was at the bottom of the deck. So how do these energies reflect upon the area of sustainability? Well, again, like I said, the Page of Swords, it's usually when you have swords, it's going to either be the energy of, depending on what sword that come out, it's going to either be about communication, or it's going to be about some type of information. And here, this is just basically talking about, for me, I think the Page of Swords is thinking less. Thinking less in terms of the things that we are thinking about, because whatever it is some of you might be thinking about, it's quite a lot, because we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is an energy of choices that we have to make, maybe decisions that we have to make. And remember, I mentioned a few minutes ago that sometimes when we think too much, it causes us to delay in the action that we take, because we are so focused on what it is. And when we have so many things to think about, it can fog our mind. It can cause us to make maybe even a quick and hasty decision that somewhere along the line we might regret it. So we have to kind of just take a deep breath, think less. But as I look at this Page of Swords, it's almost at the same time, this page here, this energy is standing on water. And basically it just says to take things a little less calmer, right? It's almost like going with the ebb and flow of how water flows. So we need to take a step back and just kind of think about taking it easy, not overloading ourselves, because when I look at also the second astrological energy of the sixth house, this is an energy that is like in a meditative type of state. So it might be that some of you might need to maybe meditate, giving some type of self-love to yourself, right? Because after all, as I mentioned, that self-love or meditation is a form of self-love, because what are you doing? You are nourishing the mind, body, and soul. We can't always focus so much on the mind with thoughts, because then the other elements of ourselves gets neglected. It calls for balance. And when we have balance of all three receptacles of the body, the mind, body, and soul, then we are able to function. We are able to bring balance, and last, more so, sustainability, right? And as we open out and we are able to do that, then we can have the Ace of Pentacles. This was the card that was at the bottom of the deck. The Ace of Pentacles is about being open to new realities, being open to opportunities, being open to other things. We are not fine-tuning certain patterns that we might have that we are not ready to release or let go, right? But in fact, we are open. We're being a little bit more broad-minded, not so much narrow-minded on what it is that we envision, right? We're able to now to explore what it is that we want, and to really work as we're working on the things that we would like to see for ourselves in our projected future. But at the same time, we are taking the initiative toward what it is, but being focused on just the primary things, right? Not overloading ourselves with too many things, because then that's where quick, hasty decisions come into play. And then, like I said, we might regret it, okay? So that's what I got with that. And now as we move over to our last astrological energy, that of the planet itself, of Mercury, it speaks about messages. So the message overall from that energy is this: overthinking or a quick knee-jerk mind, when not connected to the heart, can lead to trouble, internal anxiety. Okay, that's what happens. So the message here is that we would need to tap in more in our heart chakra. Speaking of this type of meditative condition, because when we meditate, we are activating our 7 chakras. We have 7 chakras, but here it speaks about tapping into one of them, and that's our heart chakra. And the heart chakra deal with things that it's about to bring balance from the things we think, from the mind, into how we feel, right? And how I know that this is like the main highlighted message that Spirit is really reminding us to really give thought to is because we have the 10 of Swords that came out with the 5 of Swords, and then on the bottom we have the 5 of Wands. So when you see all these energies, they are very much similar in the energies. It deals with conflict, but conflict within ourselves. And that's like a no-no. We can't do that. We earth signs, we are about grounding, right? We are about knowing when to take time. At least we should, right? To be able to take time to bring balance into ourselves. Because when we don't, this will be the outcome, and we don't want that outcome. I just want to read something before we close out. Speaking upon this action of the message that we are getting here from the planet of Mercury. It says, communicate. The mood is quick, fast, and cerebral. Look at your situation from many different sides, not being fine-tuned to one thing, right? And overall, when we do that, Mercury was the messenger of the gods, by the way, but in taking the action of communicating, right? Listen deeply to the messages of your soul, the conduit to Spirit, and become the messenger. So when you communicate and take action like that of the Queen of Wands, then in fact we are becoming our own messenger, because messengers, they bring a source of communication, a source of information. But at the same time, there is a fine line to be able to understand that all the information that we attain in our mind, we want to be able to let it come to our physical environment or the outside by taking action of some sort to really be open to the new ideas that this full moon will present to us moving ahead. All right, Earth signs, so that's what I got for you. I hope that it was helpful. If it was, you know what to do. Send some fire, electricity to that thumbs like button to give me a like. As well, if you have not and you are just a viewer, please make that viewership turn into a subscriber to subscribing to this channel. Until the next one, peace, love, and light. Bye.